Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the home studio today on this, the 17th day of September in the year 2024. Sure hope you're enjoying your Tuesdays, no matter where it is you are in the country. Gorgeous day here in the Northeast, 79 beautiful degrees, not a bit of humidity out there. So hope you're enjoying this beautiful day today. And as you do each and every Tuesday, you welcome me into your home so that I can bring you this week's news. But before we do that, I have a few things that I'd like to say on a personal basis that I don't really do too often. And that is because on Saturday night I was surprised with a 50th birthday party at the American Legion in Kearney that my dear friend Alyssa Facito put together, my second sister, and I would be remiss if I didn't say a few words about what happened on Saturday night because, to be perfectly frank and honest with you, it was one of the most overwhelming and most incredible days that I've ever had in my life, even though I sort of knew it was happening. When it actually does happen, it becomes pretty remarkable experience. And this photo was taken at the end of the night when a good chunk of people who were already gone, but you can see in this picture some of the people who were there: Larry Kelly, Addie Boyd, my stepbrother Matt, my stepfather Mike. Mama June Hearn is right there, and I can't tell who's right behind her right there, unfortunately. I think it's Mary Trine de Castro, but I'm not sure. Michael Machado, my mother, Alyssa, Dylan Sullivan, Michelle, Bobby Pizzola, Danny is right there too, also, and that's Danny Manley, and then Melanie Ryan's there. There's Carol Manley, Lisa, myself, Lisa sitting on my lap, Johnny below Lisa, Mark Wiggins is over there too, causing a ruckus. You can't see Noreen Wiggins because she's blocked by the gold balloons. Then there's Lenny Twist, and that's Dora Esteves, Fred Esteves, Chief George King, and his wife Ruth, and two of my longtime friends, the Figueredo family. That's Maria and Carla, who were there, and I think I mentioned Melanie Ryan as well. So that was the group picture that we took at the end of the night. I'm going to just go through a couple of the images here. This is Denise Facito. I absolutely adore her. I think everybody knows that now. It's not that I'm making it a secret and that nobody will know that. This is a group of people who put together Lisa's Tasty Delights, the party, and organized the whole thing. Lisa, who is on the outside of the picture on the right-hand side, is just remarkable, folks. I cannot recommend her enough if you're looking to have a party done. She is nothing short of amazing. And those are some of her sisters and siblings, children, I believe. Now, of course, this is our own Lisa, who decided to dress up as Madonna. And, I didn't realize this at the time, but Madonna, I guess, had a mole or has a mole on her face. And if you look at it, you can see the mole right here on Lisa's upper lip here. So that was great. I wish I had known it at the time, but I didn't because I'm a dummy. So I apologize for that. And there's Carol. They took the memo to dress up in the 80s that didn't exist very, very seriously because it was like a 70s, 80s theme party. So I really appreciated the efforts that they put in. Now that's Denise with Maria and Carla. Carla was a young girl when I first met her, and her mother Maria was our landlord on Ivy Street back in the early 90s, and it was just so nice to see them. There's Mama June right there with me, one of my favorite people in the planet. She came all the way up from the shore to be with us. I couldn't thank her enough for doing that. I couldn't believe she did it, but she did. She came all the way up. She wanted to be there. This, of course, is Juan Barroso, who I consider one of my dearest friends in the world. I was so happy that Juan was there and so glad that Juan was there as well. Juan's got a lot going on right now in his life, and the fact that he was able to make it was just something I will never forget for as long as I live. was so glad that Juan was there. This is Patty Long, our she's our mail carrier at the office, but she's like family. She really is. We've known her for a couple of years now, and she is just one of the greatest spirits you will ever meet in your life. And most of you know Patty anyway. You probably see her walking along Kearney Avenue between Laurel Avenue and the Pike. Of course, you know Chief King here and his wife Ruth. It was a real honor to have a retired chief of police in my presence that night. So I'm very, very grateful to the Kings for being there. And then you can see in the background that's Mayor Dan Pronti from North Arlington. And here he is right now with Councilman Kirk Del Russo. Having those two there was another honor of a lifetime. Imagine having, I was lucky to have so many elected officials present, and I'll never forget that. This is somebody who you hear me talk about quite a bit. This is Lieutenant Vincent Autieri from the Lyndhurst Police Department. He is the public information officer of the Lyndhurst Police Department, and he's become a dear friend over the last 10 years, and I was grateful that he was there as well. It wasn't easy for Vinny either because he doesn't know as many people from the area, so I was very, very grateful to see Vinny as well. Of course, you all know who this is. The mayor of Kearney, Carol Jean Doyle, was with us as well, and that was another distinct honor. And the funny thing is, if you had asked me, would Carol Jean have been at my 25th birthday party, which didn't actually happen, I think that answer probably would have been no, but it was great that she was there nonetheless. And right now, here's Melanie Ryan with my mother chatting over at our table, my cousin Rob in the background, and that was great. And that's my mother and me. My mother Margaret was here with us with my stepfather Mike and my stepbrother Matt, who came all the way in from Taiwan for the week. Not for my party, he was here on business, but it just happened to be perfect timing that my step brother was here all the way from Taiwan. And so it was great to see him as well. There's Melanie. And what I was able to do on that Saturday was get Melanie to smile multiple times. Anybody who knows Melanie knows that she does not smile that often. So it was great to have her there. And I'm going to talk about Melanie in a minute. And I'm going to talk about Alyssa in a minute also. That's who you see right here. Alyssa Machado. Facido is her maiden name. If it weren't for Alyssa, this party would not have happened. And Melanie backed her up, the two of them, and my mother. So I'm going to speak about that in just a moment. So you'll bear with me there for a second. And this, of course, is Dr. Addie Boyd, one of my favorite people on the planet. She is just a wonderful spirit. I love Addie. And that's Councilwoman Mary Trine DeCastro as well. Mary Trine was there. And I was so grateful that she was. I'm losing my mind here. That's my mother and my stepfather, Mike, my stepbrother, Matt, my cousin, Robbie, and Donna Demesky, who is a longtime family friend and my former landlord in Harrison as well. And let's see, what am I doing here? I can't get all these things off the screen. They're just, all right, there we go. And then now this was Sean McDonald. Sean roasted me. And Sean gave one of the most remarkable speeches I have ever heard in my life, something I did not deserve. And his words were just amazing. It was almost like, you know, I was speaking with Joanne Dolan at the end of the night, and Joanne Dolan said, what you got to experience tonight was like listening to your own funeral, except you were right there in the room to hear it all. And that's what Sean did. He is one of, if not my dearest friend in the world. We've known each other since we were 13, 14 years old, freshman, sophomore at St. Peter's Prep. We have remained friends for all these years, and what he did for me that night is something I will never, ever, ever forget for as long as I live. And you gotta, everybody's lucky to have that one friend like that. And for me, that's Sean and Alyssa, which I'll talk about in a minute. I'm having a tough time working this machine today, so you'll forgive me. I'm not used to using this. And that, of course, is my mother and stepfather, Mike, right there. And the last picture that I'm going to show you here is this one here. Again, that was the group photo that was taken at the end of the night. Alyssa was the one who decided to plan this about a year ago. And she put in an effort and her heart and her soul in ways I didn't know were humanly possible. And then Melanie got involved as well after that. And the two of them, along with my mother, made a night for me that I will never, ever, ever forget. It was probably, I don't have kids, I never got married. Probably the most memorable night I have ever had in my life. And I just felt all the love that was in that room that day. And I am so, so forever grateful to them, especially Alyssa, and to Melanie for giving me a night that I will never be able to replicate, never would want to replicate again. But if it weren't for Alyssa, none of this would have happened. And I love her very much. I love Melanie very much, of course, for all of the efforts that they pulled together to pull this off. And of course, the backup that my mother gave them as well. And everybody in that room is just a very special human being in my world. And I was very, very fortunate and blessed to have the day of the century as far as I'm concerned. So you'll forgive me for going through all of this. I could probably speak for hours about all the people who were there and who were people who were involved, but I wanted to at least give you a little bit of a brief update as to what was going on. And right now, that just popped up in the room was Mama June. Mama June, good to see you. Mama June was on the screen before. I don't know if she saw it before, but you had your picture up on the screen. Thank you very much. And Carol Manley is here as well. May Carol, good to see you, and thank you again for everything on Saturday. Now, this week's newspaper, Harrison's Field of Dreams becomes a reality. I'm just going to basically go over this briefly with you. The field at Harrison High School was about 15 years old, and the Board of Education decided they wanted to redo it. They did it in 2 months, folks. They did this entire thing over. They started at the end of last school year and they finished it before the start of this school year. It was a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment that they were able to pull off. And they opened it up, and the kids now are going to be able to use these fields that are just so gorgeous. Look at that. That's an aerial drone photo that was taken. And I want to thank Laura Compton for pulling this story together for us and for covering it. I was just remarkable what they did over there in the town of Harrison. Briefly, we were talking about this for a couple of weeks. The borough of East Newark has decided to keep the chief of police in its table of organization for the time and place where they're able to hire a chief. They will be creating the position of civilian police director in the interim, and it kept everybody happy. Councilman Kenny Sheehan was vehemently against removing the chief's position, and he fought for it, and he did a very diplomatically beautiful job of pulling his colleagues together. They unanimously introduced the ordinance that will create the position of civilian police director while not eliminating the position of chief of police in East Newark. And I want to give him a real pat on the back for really pulling it together nicely, and to Mayor Dina Grillo as well for the compromise that they all made together to do this the right way. And I'm sure in due time, I'm not going to speculate who it might be. The good thing about this is they won't have to recreate the position of chief when somebody on the East Newark Police Department is ready to become the chief. Unfortunately, for the most part, it's a very young police department right now, and there really wasn't anybody who could become the chief at this point in time. So at least now, when somebody gets more experience, they won't have to recreate the ordinance, recreate the position in order to hire somebody. It will be right there because it was kept in the table of organization. So well done there indeed. This was something that I was very, very happy about. This guy here was wanted in connection to the murder of a school teacher in Jersey City a year ago. And he went on the run, and in fact, there was rumors he was in Florida and then in South America. Well, lo and behold, he was caught in Colombia, extradited back to the United States, and this punk is now behind bars at the Hudson County Jail. How you kill a woman, how you kill anybody is just disgusting. It's being investigated as a case of domestic violence, and he was such a coward that he ran away for an entire year, and he got away with it. But fortunately, and I never knew this, we do have an extradition treaty with the nation of Colombia. I would not have thought that. And he was brought back a couple of weeks ago to the United States, where he will face trial for this murder. So I'm very, very glad. And I want to thank also and congratulate the Carney guys who helped to solve this case a couple of years ago. Some very, very smart work was done in that case. So it's certainly good to see that. And then just lastly, upgrades made to the Essex County Belleville Park are complete. County Executive Joseph DiVincenzo Jr. is a champion of the county park system in Essex County, and this is just another one of those examples of that getting done. So, Jason Bernstein has 3 sports stories this week, including one where we have an athlete of the week. I won't say anything about it because I want you to pick up the paper to read that, or you could read it at theobserver.com. And don't forget that we have 2 pages of classified. There's a lot of job openings you see under the red headers right here. And of course, if you're looking for a place to live, there are apartments. Just get ready for about $100,000 commitment in order to afford the rent for any of those. And of course, if you have to get work done in the house, or you want to rent a hall, things of that nature, a whole bunch of things in this week's classifieds. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Observer Live. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today and for indulging me in my recap of the party. I want to thank Carol Manley again, who was an integral part of that night. Thank you, Carol. Mama June, for coming all the way up from the shore to be here with us. Arlisa is watching. She is in the office. And to anybody else who is here right now and who is not chatting, thank you for joining us today. We will be back in a week, but of course, if anything happens. Oh, yes. Wait, let me say this too. It's not just my birthday on Saturday. It is also Carol Manley's birthday on Saturday. We are both celebrating our birthday on the 21st. And so a very happy birthday to you, my birthday sister. How the hell did I forget that? Thank you for reminding me. Enjoy your day on Saturday as well. And thank you again. And Denise, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate your words as well. And of course, to Mama June, thank you as well. It was so much an honor to have you there. So from the home studio, Kevin Canessa, I'm signing off for now. And I hope to see you back here again 1 week from today or very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Bye-bye.